I definitely think Fnatic lost twice. I think third against TL, but I think third time is the charm. And I'm hoping we can see the rematch for them at Worlds, because I think they can take them down. And if they can't, then we will be the ones to do it. So.
Another week, and this time a victory for G2 Esports, a 3-0, and I am in the presence of the victorious Caps after a powerful performance. I mean, you did not get the MVP, unfortunately. Hans took it today, but it still was a pretty good performance. Caps, how do you feel after this result today?
I'm definitely happy. I think we got a 3-0, but also we get to play another week now against BDS, and I think we are getting more comfortable on the patch. I think last week we tested out a lot of things, and I think not everything necessarily worked out. But this week we kept some of it and maybe put some of it in the freezer for now, and maybe we'll look back at it later. But definitely we feel more confident in what we're doing right now, and I'm just already excited for next week going up against BDS. It's gonna be a fun one.
Yeah, and I mean today we saw you back on the Tristana as well, which is pretty good because obviously it's one of the picks that you play a lot, especially at MSI and stuff. She got nerfed recently, but now you're playing her again. Do you think? I mean, are you happy playing Tristana as well in this match today?
Yeah, I mean, definitely excited to get to play some Tristana again. I think it's definitely nerfed. It definitely is a bit weaker, right, than before. But at the same time, it can still be like fit some drafts quite well, and it can be still like a solid pick. So I think it's a champion to look out for the future, and it's definitely a champion I quite enjoy playing. So in that sense, it's been pretty nice.
And today, I mean, you were facing GiantX, and obviously, I think a player that has been in a lot of discussions for GiantX recently has been Jackies, which is a new mid laner coming into the scene, and he's had a big resurgence, especially in the summer split with the addition of like new coaching staff and stuff. So how did you feel playing against him today? And I mean, obviously, even though it was a 3-0 and was pretty convincing from you guys, do you still like feel like Jackies could be like a good player as well, and maybe hasn't shown what he had maybe today as well?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I think he's had a very good summer split, and I think it's definitely been fun to see him perform on stage. I think Giants as a team, especially in summer, feels like they really found their identity, where they're really just playing a lot of these like super scaling champions everywhere, and then they play quite well, like the team fights, and especially when they get ahead with those, it can be very hard to come back from. Now, of course, we went for a lot like stronger early game, and we just tried to snowball a lot of games, which I'm happy we ended up doing. But I think overall, Jackies has been shining very well in this like game patterns. Like he's been doing very well in the later parts of the game. I think quite similar to VPO. I think from last year as well. Was also they were doing a similar things. I think in Heretics, I believe. So it's definitely been a very good summer split from him, and I'm I guess looking forward to seeing what he will pull out next year.
And I mean, obviously, you've probably been talking a lot about like the MDK match from last week and stuff. Like everyone is going to be asking questions about that. But as you mentioned, like you guys are refocusing, like trying to go more to the basics of stuff that works and stuff. But how do you feel like in terms of confidence about the current level of G2? And are you confident as well that you guys are going to be able to step it up to reach the season finals, grand finals in Munich and be able to take the split anyways?
Definitely. I mean, I think we had like a shaky end of the summer playoffs, and I mean we end up winning, right? But it was definitely not the way we like, as we were not playing as well as we wanted to be. And then I think coming into this new patch, we were doing a lot of the same mistakes, but also at the same time we were testing out a lot of new champions. So a lot of it is like, is it because we're testing out new champs, or is it because we're still like we're not doing too well as a team? And I think after our loss, it feels like this week everyone's been playing way more together. Like we've been not doing way less like solo plays and stuff like that. So I think that's been quite nice. I think now we're way more on the same page, and I think everyone is trying their best to include themselves and include everyone else in the plays. And also, of course, the fact that we are playing like champions that we are maybe more comfortable on in that sense. I think those two things are definitely the biggest factors, and I definitely feel confident going up against BDS, and also if we were to face Mad or Fnatic again, I definitely think we can just take on everyone, but we take it 1 week at a time, right? We still have, I think now, 4 or 5 days before we play BDS, and we will try our best to improve the ways we can. And then, of course, for the final week, because it is going to be 3 more best of 5s, so we will need to be sharp against all of them, right? Because they also have like different ways of playing the game. But right now our eyes are just on BDS.
And in a way, do you feel like maybe having this wake up call now, like losing to MDK in the previous round and being able to play this all these best of fives as well, do you feel like it's good that you guys are having this moment right now where you have these struggles and you can actually work on it rather than like having this at Worlds and like maybe like last year you guys like fumbled in the Swiss stage was very rough, right?
Yeah, I mean, definitely, I think so. I think, yeah, we were just not on the same page always, and I think, having our backs against the wall and like really having to perform definitely makes it so that I think we're all in, and we make sure to play as a unit. So I think it's been quite nice for us to go from the lower bracket. I think it's gonna be each best of five. Like we get more best of fives as well. Otherwise, we wouldn't even play this week. And also we get to really play with the pressure. So it's definitely nice in the sense of like the practice, but. Of course, it's also going to be a tough road, and we will just have to step up if we want to go all the way to Munich even, and then lift the trophy there. But I don't have regrets. We will just look forward to both BDS and whoever comes after.
Recently, in an interview, we've had some hot takes from APA, the mid laner of Team Liquid. He said in an interview that, I quote, "I'm not too worried about EU this year. I think that the top 2-3 teams in NA are better than EU as a whole." Do you agree with this statement? What do you think about the level of EU currently compared to NA?
I mean, I think it's hard to say in the sense that like they did beat Fnatic right twice, and now Fnatic is at the top.
Mm-hmm.
I also feel like, I also feel like, I mean, they didn't really beat us, right? And I think the Fnatic at especially EWC looked quite bad, to be honest. Like even just comparing them to when they played in LEC. So I think they're not really competing against the strongest versions of like the LEC teams.
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely think the LEC is stronger. I think we could take on any of the NA teams. I mean, it's hard to say I don't want to say like how the matchup would be against for Fnatic, for example, or like Mad or even BDS, right, against the NA teams, because well. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. It's just not our team, right? But yeah. I definitely think Fnatic lost twice. I think third against TL, but I think third time is the charm. And I'm hoping we can see the rematch for them at Worlds, because I think they can take them down. And if they can't, then we will be the ones to do it. So
makes sense. Another quick topic as well. Obviously, it's been a lot of debate, but Aurora got disabled just a few days ago, right before the matches, and people were talking about how you were spamming her in solo queue, right, as well, before the matches. So, how have you like dealt with that as well, and like has it impacted like the way you prepared for the match? Like, were you a bit disappointed that she was disabled?
I mean, definitely put a lot of games into it, right? So it's like it was not the best for us, but I think these things happen. It's like I don't really mind it in the sense that like. It's not like I'm being targeted, right? It's just unfortunate in that sense that I put a lot of games on it. But it's happened before in the past where you play a champion, played all week, played all your solo queue and scrims, and then it just gets disabled, right? And of course it's unfortunate. But at the end of the day, our opponents could just ban it as well if they wanted to. It's not really up to us if I would get it in that sense. But I'm definitely hoping it'll get fixed and I can pull it out next week, perhaps. That would be quite a lot of fun.
And another topic I think that a lot of people are discussing is that, I mean, obviously for a lot of people, you are like one of the most accomplished players in EU, right? And you're like one of the players that historically has achieved the most for the region. And so everyone is looking for who's going to be the next Caps, one day. And in this discussion, a lot of people currently have been talking about the Carmine Corp ID carry, Caliste, coming from the ERLs. Obviously, he was too young to participate in the LEC this year, but he's most likely going to be coming in next year. Since you've probably faced him in solo queue and probably scrims as well in general, what do you personally think about Caliste? Do you actually think that he could be like this next big talent for Europe as well?
Yeah, I mean, definitely think he is looking quite strong. I played a lot of games against him in solo queue, especially, and he's always doing quite well. So of course, like being staged and stuff is like a different beast. So it's always hard to predict with players. And I think especially him being quite young and there being a lot of pressure on him, I could imagine to step up. But I think that's where you really get to see if a player like shines with all that pressure, or if he just can't perform with it. Mm-hmm. Because I think he is definitely playing very well in solo queue, and he's definitely a player to look out for next year. And it's gonna be exciting to see if he can really come and make an impact and step up to the plate, because a lot of eyes are gonna be on him. And it will be up to him to step up.
All right, this is about all the time we have today for the interview, but do you have any quick words you want to say to the fans before you close off?
I mean, just a big thank you again to the fans. I know it's not been easy the last few weeks to support G2. A lot of scary looking games, even last split, and now the loss last week was definitely devastating. But we're gonna go through the lower brackets, and I hope you guys will keep supporting us, and see you in Munich.
Well, perfect. I hope I'll see you in Munich as well. We'll be there for sure. But thank you again, Caps, for talking with us today, and I hope you have a great night, great matches next week as well, and yeah, hopefully we'll get to talk to you again soon.